What's up guys, it's your boy Kazaris, back with another fun little deck profile. And before we get into it, I am trying out some new music, so let me know what you think. So today we are playing the brand new Volcanics. They just got new support in the form of Volcanic Scattershot. Among other things, they got a bunch of new skills. They got a few other new cards, mainly Volcanic Counter. I just don't find it to be that good. And you're already playing so many monsters anyway that I just didn't feel the need to add it. But yeah, this is the deck. It's more of a burn stall kind of deck because the monsters in and of themselves aren't very strong. We're not playing Volcanic Doomfire just because it requires too much resource investment for a very not too great payoff, because Doomfire in and of itself is just a 3k beat stick with a cool effect, but you have to kill something in battle, and relying on effects that have to kill something in battle is just not reliable because your opponent can easily stop it with literally any trap card. So if there was a skill that summoned it from deck, that would be really cool, because we could play around things like Floodgate and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's just like it's too resource intensive for a very small payoff. Honestly, I'd rather just rely on our discard and tribute traps to abuse things like Shell and Volcanic Scattershot with. Scattershot is really cool. So there is a new just a heads up, there's a new mini box coming out. We don't know the leaks, but it's probably going to be fire themed, just because of this DD Castle and the new Axel release, similar to how they released a water themed box with Shark. So I mean, we could maybe get the Blaze Accelerator Reload trap, which would make this deck infinitely better because it's searchable with Volcanic Rocket. It allows you to have a quick effect Volcanic Scattershot, meaning you can quick effect Regeki your opponent's board instead of waiting for them to pass back to you so that you can use your regular Blaze Accelerator to pop a monster and then have the Volcanic Scattershot you send two more from hand or deck to pop the rest of the board. Whereas Blaze Accelerator Reload would just discard Scattershot to draw you a card, and then Scattershot would wipe the board. So like, whereas Blaze Accelerator it's kind of redundant, right? So Blaze Accelerator is already popping a monster, and then Scattershot's just popping more monsters. So like, at bet, like, normally it'll be a pop one, because you will just be destroying one monster, and then if they have another, you'll destroy that too with this Scattershot effect. But like, with Blaze Accelerator Reload, you can wait until they have a full field, and then draw a card off of the Scattershot, and then Regeki all three monsters. So you just get a ton more advantage with the trap form of Accelerator, as well as drawing cards on top of it. And the trap card works really well with Shell, because you can discard Shell, draw a card, Shell effect, search another Shell on your opponent's turn, discard Shell, draw a card on your turn, Shell, add, discard Shell, draw a card. It's just so much advantage over the course of like 2 or 3 turns that it's really what this deck needs, because the deck can grind well, except it runs out of advantage a little bit too much. Royal Firestorm Guards helps with that because it returns 4 pyros to the deck to draw 2. So you'll return like 3 Scattershot and a Shell, or 2 Shell, a Rocket, and a Scattershot used, or something like that, or 3 Shell and a Rocket, something like that. We're playing the 2 red Resonator here because it works really well with Rocket, because Rocket searches Blaze Accelerator on any summon. And it can add back from grave as well, so that's why we're only playing 1 Accelerator, because we can use Accelerator as good discard fodder for things like Regeki and Karma Cut, and then just add it back with another Rocket from our graveyard, or we can activate it and use it if we need to. So Red Resonator will summon the Volcanic Rocket, and then typically we'll be making the Red Rising Dragon to summon back the Red Resonator with its effect. And Red Resonator on special summon can target a monster on the field, and you gain life points equal to its attack. So you can gain 2100 when you summon Red Rising Dragon, or if you're going second and do this play and your opponent has a monster that's bigger than 21, you can target any monster they control and gain attack equal to it. So that really helps, because this deck is going to be paying a lot with Shell, especially because of our skill here. So either we're going to be recycling with either Royal Firestorm Guards or our new skill here that Axel got. It's pretty simple. It says return up to 3 Volcanic or Blaze Accelerator cards from your graveyard to your deck. This is cool because we can use all of our shells, and then we can return 2 shells, keep 1 in the grave. That way we can just use that one that we kept in the grave to add another one. So it essentially gives us 5 shells Or we can use 3 and return 3, which gives us 6 shells. Or we can return scattershots after we use them, or we can return rockets so that we can draw more rockets to have more level 4s and more 1900 beat sticks, stuff like that. Really, really cool. We're playing the just a staple trap lineup and a bunch of monsters. We're playing 25 here because we do not want to open this, or we do not want to open multiple shell or multiple scattershot at all. Like, these cards are effectively bricks when you draw them in multiples. It's really just, those are what are going to contribute to your losing hands when you don't open enough traps, or rocket, or like anything useful really outside of like multiple shells and multiple scattershots. So we're playing more cards just so we decrease the chances of opening multiples of these, while keeping our odds pretty good overall to see at least one of rocket or one scattershot or one shell. And then just we're playing Trishula because this deck grinds, so like against other grindy decks that have like floodgates and stuff, I don't know, we giving ourselves a 2700 beat stick that we can summon with any 3 monsters is kind of cool. Just because we can like set shells or scatter shots over the course of a few turns, stall out our opponent, and then summon a 2700 beat stick with pretty weak monsters, which is nice. 2 rank 4s, I think these are the best ones, just generic. And then we're playing the Dark End because this can be made with Red Rising and Red Resonator. And then we're playing Coral and Brio just because these are good discard synchros that just give us a ton of advantage, and Brionac gives us an out to cards that can't be destroyed. We can just bounce it, like Sun Saga if we ever happen to run into any. But yeah, I'm going to shut up and we're going to get right into some duels. Grab your coffee. Alright, we are about to Aster Phoenix. Asterisk Phoenix. We're going second. Ooh, let's cuck them. Let's get them, boys. Knock them down. Balance. Our hand is good. We have Rocket with Shell. It's going to set 2 pass. We drew very well. So we're going to go Rocket. Add Blaze Accelerator. Going to set 3. If he has a Cyclone, typically he'll hit the middle or the one closest to our deck, which in either case will still be Regeki Break, meaning we'll still have a Regeki Break at the resolution of that Cyclone. Plus we'll have this Ballista Squad here. So if you have multiples of a back row, tend to try to set them in the middle and the right. That way if they do Cyclone, you'll still be able to keep one of them, rather than setting the different one in one of these zones and then being stuck with 2 of the same. So he's going to Cyclone here. He hits the middle, so this is the way we keep a Regeki Break. I feel like that might be another Cyclone. He's just debating whether or not he wants to be that low. And if he does Cyclone again, and we're in a bad spot, if we resolve a Scattershot, we win, because he'll be at a 100 life. So he's going to Merchant. Now we want to wait for him to use Bones, or what's it? Merchant? No. Karakuri. Whatever. Yeah, there it is. Kunamzan. Bones. So we're going to wait for him to use this, and now we're going to use Regeki Break effect. Because this way, if he has the Gamma Oil to reborn the Inishichi, the Merchant, if we didn't wait for that Bones, he could just reborn the Merchant and then use Bones effect. But if we wait for the Bones and he has the Gamma Oil, even if he reborns the Merchant, he already used Bones, so he can't summon Bones. He can't use it again, essentially. So, easy way to deal with Karakuri right there. Pretty nice. All we have to do is activate a trap. That was surprisingly a fast one. I wasn't expecting to get any fast ones with Volcanics, but cool. We have time for 1 or 2 more. Alright, we are up against a Sartorius Kumar. We are going second. It's not too bad. Expect to see Desperado all over the ladder if you aren't already. Hand is not too great. The main goal of playing 25 is to not see multiple shell or Scattershot. And it sucks because we didn't open any discard or Ballista Squads traps with it. So, going to draw. Well, there's a Ballista Squad. Alright, so that's not awful. So we're going to set the shell. Set to Fiendish. Need a Ballista Squad. We can at least get a search with the shell here. And a pop with the Ballista Squad. So yeah, so he's going to summon Twin Barrel. Targeting something or other. I think I just negate it. I don't know, because like if I don't negate it, then he wastes the rest of his coin flips. Nah, I'll let this resolve. I don't care that much about it. I'll let this resolve. He's out of coin flips. I'm tired. Early morning here. He's gonna end there. I'm gonna hold my Ballista Squad. I'm not in any rush. Draw a red resonator, but no level 4 to use it with. I'm gonna pass it back. I'm not in any rush. Neither is he, apparently. I'm about to break 5,000 gems for the first time ever. I've never had this many at a time. I think the most that I've had is like when GX first came out. I had like over 3,000 or something, but I just blew them all. Like I can't hold onto them. I just blow my load too quickly. So now he has a 25% chance to hit this. He's not gonna hit it. So yeah, there's that. Is he gonna overlay? If he overlays, that'd be pretty cool. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I don't see why he would overlay. I'd rather just keep the 2 dark machines and the 2 1700 beat sticks. Doesn't make any sense to overlay here. Because if he overlays, he loses the ability to trigger Desperado. So he's gonna pass on again. What is going on? Draw another Ballista Squad. Alright, that's not bad. Especially with our double shell here. We can pop both of these twin barrels. We have Fiendish for a Desperado. 6 to his 8. You got +1 off the Cup of Ace and +1 off the Twin Barrel Dragon. So we're down by 2 cards here. Blast Spider, interesting. He might overlay now. Yeah, okay, he is. Alright, so he's gonna summon Gear Gigant. Wait, what? I can't. Okay. I thought it wasn't gonna let me respond for a second. That was weird. Pop the Gear Gigant. Don't let him search. This won't trigger Desperado because it's an Earth Machine. Gear Gigant X. I do want to bait out a Desperado here if possible. I'm gonna pop again. Fiend Comedian. If he calls it right, I banish my grave. If he calls it wrong, damn it. Bruh, that's not good for us. It's gonna attack. I'm gonna Fiendish. Alright, we gotta stall a bit longer because we are out of. We have 1 shell left. We can still technically resolve Royal Firestorm Guards because we have 3 Scattershots. So it's not too bad. Just gonna put the Desperado in defense. So there's a rocket. We're gonna go Red Resonator, summon a rocket. These should be Buddy Force and Karma Cut face down, or 2 Karmas or 2 Buddies. We're gonna summon the rocket in defense. Doesn't really matter. Add the Blaze Accelerator here. Now this is a scenario where if we resolve this Red Rising Dragon, we can target Desperado to gain 28 instead of just 21 with the Red Rising. which would be significant because that's technically an extra shell usage, but he banished 2 of our shells, so summon back this red resonator. Oh, that's how that works. Okay, so no, so we'll, okay, so either way, I was thinking that this is how it would work, but like, either way, if he summons Desperado here, chain link 4, it'll resolve backwards, he'll summon Desperado, and then it'll get nuked. So, he's debating on summoning it right now, so he definitely has another one. Technically, he can wait, though, because after this Blast Spider dies, he'll just get a chance to summon it. In which case, we can go for the Dark End, and then just send the Desperado. He's going to add the Temperance. He's going to take 750 here. Man, this half damage bullshit. So yeah, so that was the correct play. Wait for the Blast Spider to die to summon the Desperado so that he didn't get wiped again. And now we're going to summon our Dark End. Send the Desperado. He'll be able to search another coin flip monster, but he should only have Misjudge left. In which case Temperance and Misjudge don't deal with my monster. Unless he has Buddy Force or Karma face down. I mean, he still hasn't used a trap yet, so... There's the Karma cut. Alright, so all that for nothing. So we have 1 shell in deck. Alright, so now it's like, do I want to use my skill and give myself a better chance to draw like a Scattershot or a shell? Or do I want to wait to see if I draw a Royal Firestorm Guards? So it's like... Crap. So I put these 3 back and don't draw a Scattershot. It was kind of worthless. It wasn't really worthless. No, okay. I'm going to do this here because 3 out of 15 is better than 2 out of 15. We're going to pass there. So again, we're at 1,600 life points. We're not going to lose. What did he discard with Karma? Wait, what the fuck? I didn't even realize that. What the hell? Alright, so we know he has Temperance in hand. We're going to take 28 to the face. We drew Red Resonator. He has a Desperado. Like, if he has the Machina Fortress, technically can summon it. Because he'll have a Desperado left. Don't you dare. Okay, that's what I fucking say. God, that was sucked. Draw another Scattershot. We got a chump block with it, unfortunately. There's 1 card left. Again, if this deck can't win by normal means, we can definitely deck out because we have Royal Firestorm Guards to shuffle back 4. We have 2 of those, and technically they can loop each other. So that's just like an indefinite amount of shuffling back. Plus we have our skill to shuffle back 3. So we could definitely deck some people out with this. He has his final turn here. He has to push through 2 of our monsters. There's a Machina Fortress. He drew the Desperado last. That's rough. He has to get 3 monsters here. Technically, if he has 2 Super Buddy face down, he can do it. There's 1. There's 1 Super Buddy. Does he have a second one? And that's his first Super Buddy used all game, right? Yeah, that's his first Super Buddy used all game. I mean, he might have 2 Karma face down too. Or like head judge. Yep. We'll see. There's 250. There's 250. Does he have a second one? No, he does not. That's going to be the ball game. I'm just going to Royal Firestorm Guards here, because why not? Shuffle back these 4. I'm just going to dick with him. Going to Blaze Accelerator. Send 2 more. Resolve some scatter shots, nuke his field, can't attack, and then we win. Alright, cool. So, I mean, even if he still had more cards there, like, we put ourselves in a good position, because we still nuked his field. Plus we had another guards that we could draw, we had more rockets to draw as well. So we could keep pushing his face in there. Technically, if we get him low enough to the point where, I was playing some games with this deck earlier, and I got a Cyber Dragon player to like 200 life points, and he couldn't attack me because if my set monster was Scattershot, he lost technically. So 2 rocket attacks to the face is 3,800, and then after that, any Scattershot is game. So that's kind of relevant to keep note of. Cool. Let's do another one. Bit of a long game, but that's all right. All right, we're up against another Aster Volcanics. I'm going first. Nice, we get to set up our board. Nice, we get that red resonator rocket combo. Very nice, very nice. Rocket effect, add this Blaze Accelerator. We have discard fodder for our Regeki Break. Going to go, yeah, Red Rising Dragon's always a safe play. Safe turn 1 play, just because it gains us 2,100 life points, which is really just, it's a good bit of life points. It's too valuable to not do, especially turn 1 in a deck like this, because we're going to be paying a ton of life points, so we want to be high. We want to have as many life points as possible, so we got 6,100. I'm going to pass to him on that. We can make the Dark End if we want to, or we can hold the Red Resonator for another level 6 play, which is pretty cool. So like we can summon this Royal Firestorm Guards, or if we draw another rocket, we can summon it, add back the Blaze Accelerator that we discarded for another +1, and then make a Coral Dragon or a Brio, and then discard what we added, the Blaze Accelerator. It's going to add Valhalla, pass his turn on that. We're going to draw. So I mean, so Dark End just has to target 1 monster, but that's not lethal with Royal Firestorm, because that'll be 21 plus 17. Okay, so again, we can't use this Firestorm Guards effect, but I'm just going to summon it so we can synchro for Brio. I don't want to destroy this face down because, I mean, I don't know what it is, so I'm going to avoid triggering it if I can. I don't know. It might be like a Winda or something. For whatever reason, people play Winda in random decks. So I'm going to discard 1, bounce it. I think I value this Fiendish Chain more than the Regeki Break. So I'm going to set the Fiendish Chain and smack him for 44. Alright, so this deck is very versatile, as you can see. We can OTK or we can stall like in that first game. And burn. It's just, the deck does a lot, just depending on what you draw or how you draw. You just got to play it according to your hand, essentially. Cool. Let's do one more game. It's been a little bit, but let's try one more. All right, we're up against a Jaden Ubel. We're going first. Nice. Not too great of a hand. Okay. Alright, set 3 pass. We can draw Rocket, we can draw Shell to use the Regeki Break, we can draw... Technically we can draw Royal Firestorm Guards, it still gives us a Synchro play, so that's not awful. It's going to banish our Fiendish Chain, which is fine because as I said earlier, we did the play where we had 2 of the same trap and set them in the most common zones that are hit. That way if we get Cyclone, he'll probably hit 1 of the Fiendish Chain, which leaves us with another one. So he's going to Ferris here. Now, I hate using Regeki Break to discard something that won't get us a ton of advantage, but since he's going to be using Increase to tribute a monster, he's technically losing 2 cards to our 2 cards, so we're maintaining the same amount of advantage. So he's going to Increase effect, tribute Ferris, we're going to chain Regeki Break, pop the Increase, and he's going to scoop. So don't attempt to pop the Increase first, because Increase is technically a continuous trap while it's on the field, so he can chain Increase's effect to summon itself, and then when it's summoned it can get its effect. So he's going to summon the Stratos, we're going to chain Fiendish Chain. If he has Mass Change, you got me, dude. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. I think we would just lose there. But we're just going to Fiendish Chain the Stratos, and he's going to pass. What does he have in grave? Yeah, just going to pass. I was about to say, if his hand was fucking Cyclone, Ferris, Stratos, Mass Change, that'd be ridiculous. He's going to add Poly from outside of his deck to his hand. Okay. I mean, we drew Ballistic Squad with no target. I don't think we can lose, though, because you can only have... If he draws another Stratos, we can lose. Because you can summon Stratos, add another monster, and then fuse with the Stratos that's Fiendish Chained. And the monster he added for an attack for 46 with Adoration and Stratos, but he did not draw a Stratos, so that's nice. We draw the Rocket. That is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, so we're going to add a Blaze Accelerator. It's probably... I feel like if that was a Mass Change, you would have used it. It's probably a Cyclone face down. Just gonna beat this face in. It is chainable, so it's not form change. If it was Mass Change, it would have used it, so that is a Cyclone. We can infer that that's a Cyclone. He has a Poly in his hand. There it is. Okay. So he can draw Stratos. That's it. Stratos is the only card he can draw that will give him a polymerization play and give him anything that can beat over our Rocket. Vion works too. Vion works too. I'm stupid. It can send malicious. Yep. Alright, we're done. Vion works as well. But doesn't kill us. It just gets over our Rocket. We can draw 3 Scattershot or 3 Shell to pop. Technically we can draw Karma Cut as well, or a Regeki Break to discard. So we have 10 cards to deal with his Adoration. 11, I guess. Fiendish Chain works as well. So the majority of our deck. So he's going to add another Poly. Okay, so he has 2 Polys in his hand. That's fine. He can just make 1 Adoration. He has no other hero cards in his hand. And he's going to smack me for 900. And that's it. Cool. We're in a very simplified game state right now. We can easily turn the tides here with a Shell draw. That'll do it, folks. Shell is going to pop the Adoration. Alright, you know he's Poly in his hand. If we Shell here, we go to 26. If he draws Stratos and he has a second Adoration, he wins. That I feel like that's very conditional. Like, he has to have a second Adoration and he has to draw Stratos. So that's very unlikely for us to lose right here. So I'm gonna Shell effect. That way I don't draw. It's more likely that we draw a Shell than we lose here, I think. So I'm gonna use Shell effect. Sets a back row. So that's a Mass Change right there. That's a Poly right there. We know that. I'm just going to put the pressure on. Screw it. So we lose to him top decking a dark hero now anyway. So I'm just going to summon this Firestorm Guards and start pushing for some damage. Wait, that's chainable. That's a third Cyclone. Oh, we're lucky as shit, dude. We are so lucky. You can still technically... So Stratos is the only monster you can top deck now. That's chainable. The only thing that's chainable in his deck is Cyclone. So activate increase, that's fine. Okay, no, shit. Technically you can draw any hero now because he can increase effect. But he also has to have the second adoration, so we'll see. So he draws Celestial. Increase effect. You can Celestial pop Accelerator technically. It's probably not good. Increase effect. Summon Adoration, or summon that and Vion. Vion can dump. I think he has a second Vion. We'll see. So we know this is Cyclone, and we know this is Poly. Because the card he drew, he set here, and then he set the card he had here. So this is the Poly, this is the Cyclone. He's going to send Ferris with Vion, just so he doesn't draw it thin out in his deck, so he can draw the Stratos. He's going to Poly. He does have the second Adoration, so we're going to take 1100 here. But we can pop it with our Shell. So I'm not too worried. Adoration. Attack for 1100. Puts us down to 1000. It's a very grindy game. But we are getting there. That Regeki break pop on the increase was, I think, what got us here. I'm pretty sure that was very correct. Even though we discarded Red Resonator, it was still very worth it because of the simplified game state that it gave us. The control decks do very well in a simplified game state. So we draw our Regeki break. We're going to Blaze Accelerator, destroy his Adoration. Whoa. Set 1, pass. If he draws any monster, we just pop it with Shell. Draws the Stratos. Yeah. Doesn't matter. He has nothing in his deck here that can kill me. What is going on? Oh, that's a Chalice. Oh, okay. I was about to say, that can't be a Cyclone anymore because he has 300 life points. But why would he Chalice? It doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't he just hold that? Alright, so we can lose if we don't draw anything. Yeah, it's another Stratus. He's going to pass here. Any monster that we have left in our deck wins us. Cool, we win. Firestorm Guards. Draw 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a Shell in the grave so that we can add one back from our deck to our hand immediately. Pretty nice. Draw 2. Shell effect. Add another one. And battle phase. Tap for gain. Awesome. So that was cool. We had the Blister Squad there to pop anything he summoned again. Yeah, so that's gonna do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. The deck is very fun. I don't think it's too great yet. If we get the Blaze Accelerator reload trap, it becomes infinitely better because Blaze Accelerator reload can either A, if it's on the field, discard a volcanic. It's either discard a volcanic monster or discard a pyro type monster to draw one card. Or if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it during either player's main phase to send any volcanic from your deck to the grave. So if you banish it in the graveyard, you send Scattershot. Scattershot triggers, sends 2 more Scattershot, you Regeki the field. And you can also have Paleozoic Maria to send it from deck to grave. So you have 3 Maria, 3 reload, and all of a sudden the deck becomes a Regeki machine and can easily wipe fields and keep recycling. It just becomes so much more consistent and so much more more interactable because you have Blaze Accelerator in a trap form essentially that can be used on either player's turn. So if we get that in the upcoming mini box, this deck becomes way better, but it's still to be decided yet. Until then, the deck is okay, better than where it was for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.